Hey, this is Nellie's Farm. It's April 4th, 2025. It is a gorgeous Alabama morning. Look at those skies. Abundant sunshine. The bees are everywhere. The bees right around the back and front porch for some reason. These big bumblebees, the fuzzy ones, they're bossy. They're territorial, and they will fight with each other over territory. My dogs go after them. They're all over the place, really. So, I have a grim report for you guys, one that I said has been coming for years now. We are, not only is the USA in economic collapse, but the entire world is too. Just in the last few days, the stock market has lost a total of $9.6 trillion. Oh, I'm sorry, that's since Inauguration Day. That's just since Inauguration Day. Now, in the last few days, over $1 trillion has been lost from 401ks, from American workers' 401ks. Now, Gregory Mariano on YouTube, a finance investor guy, he said years ago, a few years ago, as I did, get off paper, get your assets off paper because you're going to lose them. Now, this isn't the first time this happened. History always repeats, always. With economic collapse in the whole world comes world war. This is a pattern, and nowadays our economies in the world are more intertwined than ever, simply because of digital, assets and such, and it's going to be a lot worse this time because of that. When one nation falls, the rest of them goes with it like dominoes. But this has always been the plan. This has been planned for decades. All of this has. And I might sound like a nutcase or something, but I've seen too much happen to know, that this is not coincidence. I no longer believe in coincidences. And I don't think that it was just Trump's doing what's happening now. It's just meant to be on his watch. The same thing with Biden and all those crazy policies he had. All of the diversity stuff and everything that didn't make sense, men going in ladies' bathrooms and stuff. That was meant to happen on his watch. And I believe the crazy things happen just to send people, even a lot of, Democrats, sent them over to the right side, okay? Because it got so crazy just for common sense to happen again. Well, that is how everybody got on board. Not everybody. Some of us knew better, but that's how a lot of conservatives were fooled. They ran over to the right. See, when, people thought that New World Order was coming from the left for sure, but they did a trickster on you here. They moved things around, and even though I've said for many years that I have reminded people Trump was a far left radical Democrat for over 60 years. And I probably won't get a lot of views on this because I'm mentioning this, but I can't even talk about the things I know about him. And I have been threatened with bodily harm just for saying the truth. Oscar Wilde once said, "If you're gonna tell people the truth, make them laugh first so they don't kill you." You know what? He was right. People don't want to hear the truth. They want to stay in their delusions that everything's going to be just fine. Well, everything's not going to be just fine. The Dow is at negative 1,000 and falling. Japan's bank stocks are collapsing. Now, Japan is, since World War II, since after that, I should say, been one of our greatest allies, And it looks like that might be ending. Manufacturing is not coming back in America. It's just not. That's the whole premise of the tariffs, is so to bring jobs back to America, so we will buy American and make American again. Think what it would take to get these companies to open up brand new manufacturing facilities and come back from other countries. That's not going to happen. They have cheap labor there. They're already set up there. So, it's not going to happen. That's a fantasy. Who's coming back to America to open up new factories? You know how much that would cost when they're already set up in cheaper places? It's not going to happen. A little bit of research goes a long way, and most people don't want to do it. And history always repeats. Always. It's a pattern. We have so many parallels right now to the fall of Rome. And I do believe America was like the revived Roman Empire because of even the symbols, the eagle symbols, just everything. And by the way, Trump left to vacation in Florida for a week after all of this economic chaos has been unleashed to go golf with the Saudis. Yeah, our good old friends, the Saudis. The ones that supposedly did 9/11 by the way. Now, I want to talk to you about something else if you're still with me. This, is why I know that this coming Great Depression, it's already pretty much here. We're edging into it right now, and I've said that for about a year now. I see the post all over Alabama, people begging, for jobs, food, their pets. What's really telling is, I try to coordinate animal rescues and things. What's really telling is that there are abandoned pets everywhere. People are dying they're in nursing homes after stroke. Young people, too. Just post after post, and I don't even look for the posts. They just come up. I can't tell you how many. Just the, last few years. Thousands. Because I'm in so many groups in Alabama. It's just unbelievable. The carnage here. I don't know if it was hit harder here with the CV thing than other places. I think that might be a possibility. But anyway, the few jobs that are out there pay barely above minimum wage, or they're jobs that a lot of people, like us older people, can't do anymore. So anyway, the last time, during the last Great Depression, they had the Tariff Act called the Smoot-Hawley Act. Now, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930 was a protectionist trade signed into law in the USA by President Hoover, June 7th, 1930. And there's Freya's over there, as my fig tree is right here. I gotta plant this fig tree, you guys. I've been meaning to do it only like 3 years now, literally. So, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, it raised tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods in an effort to shield American industries from foreign competition, just like now, during the beginning of the Great Depression. The beginning was around October 1929. U.S. imports decreased 66%. Exports decreased 61% at the same time. So the tariffs vastly worsened economic depression, especially for just everyday workers and farmers. Despite the Tariff Act's promises of prosperity. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar, or what? History repeats. U.S. Farmers Funds, by the way, if you don't know this, they are still frozen from the USAID funds. Those funds are set aside just for them. Thousands of farmers are losing their farms, if you guys didn't know this. I see it everywhere, all over YouTube, TikTok, Facebook Reels. These are real people. They give their names, their locations. I'm seeing record number auctions, and there is the Bindi kitty. She's only allowed out when she's supervised because she is disabled. She's got kind of a curved spine. I saved her life over 3 years ago on the side of the road. She's half frozen. She's very sick, and she's partially blind. But as you can see, she's recovered well. But anyway, these farmers, They're losing their farms that's been in farms generations. That is so sad. And did you know that China already owns millions of American farmland, millions of acres? Did you know that? Now, who do you think's gonna buy up these farms that these farmers, American farmers, are losing? I'll give you one guess. Not good. This is it. I'm sorry to say that, but this is it. One more thing. I wanted to tell you what Ronald Reagan thought about the tariffs of the 1930s. Now, he actually gave a speech about this on a YouTube channel. It's got the clip on it, 5-minute clip. The YouTube channel's called CLRCUT. I tried to share this morning on my community page. My phone is a piece of crap. I can't even screenshot. I can't make phone calls on this. I had to buy a super cheap one off eBay because my other one broke. I'm lucky if I can make a phone call on the other. It barely still works. I can't afford anything right now. Anyway, I tried to send you guys this video, but the YouTube channel is called CLRCUT. Ronald Reagan gave a speech which I watched. He said that he said many of us who remember living through the 1930s, okay, they realized that those Smoot-Hawley tariffs actually deepened the Great Depression and prevented economic recovery. They were lied to, and he said they said it was the way to prosperity. Just like now. And he said back then a lot of economists argued about that, and they warned about it. He said at first it'll look like the high tariffs are protecting our American jobs, our products. He said, but that don't work for long, because it results in a trade war, retaliation from foreign nations, and then people stop buying because, they can't afford it because prices went up. Markets then shrink and collapse, business and industry shut down, and it's already bad, guys. From COVID, millions of small businesses are wiped out already. Think what is about to happen. Millions lose their job, and he said the memories he has of the 30s makes him not support any legislation for any tariffs. And he was right. Now, he, in my opinion, was a real conservative politician, a real conservative president. Okay? A real one, an authentic one, not a pretender. Of course, they all had their flaws, I know things about him too, but at least he seemed like, he cared about Americans and their livelihoods. Everything that Ronald Reagan said in that 5 minutes about these tariffs that deepened the Great Depression and made it a million times worse is happening right now and is about to happen. Now, isn't it interesting that Fox News hasn't had one single segment or headline about the stock market for the last few days? You see, that's propaganda right there. If they want to totally avoid a subject, they just don't talk about it because they know a lot of people, a lot of conservatives have tunnel vision and they're just watching them and that's it. Like, even social media, all they see is those kind of posts. They're not seeing the info outside of that. I never dreamed in a million years that I'd be seeing more truth from, CNN than Fox. But that's exactly what's happening. They turned everything around, is what they did. Everything. Everything they're saying, it's the exact opposite, too. Believe everything the opposite of what the media is telling you, people. China just shut down the entire UK metal industry also. China shut off crucial supply of ingredients to keep the industry running. Now that's from Sky News. So ripples are being sent around the world from these tariffs while Trump is golfing with the Saudis. So I'll just leave it at that. And also, I don't know how, but my little video I did yesterday of my fundraiser video to get a lawnmower because the grass is already like a foot high in places. And We have maybe 3 acres. We've always mowed with a push mower, not by choice, but it is what it is. But anyway, it broke last fall, and my son had ended up mowing the whole thing with a weed eater. Most of the land here is a mountain, and those 2 overgrown pastures you see ahead. Anyway, I had over 1,400 views in like an hour and a half that I put it up. That's never happened with any of my videos. But I didn't get one donation as of like an hour and a half ago when I checked this morning. And we are really in need out here. I mean, I'm between jobs. I'm trying to find something I can physically do because I'm in a lot of pain every day. Fatigue. And I'm not the only one in this position, and I realize that. So I was just wanted to quickly mention my fundraiser, and I'll put my PayPal link. I don't have a post office box. Someone commented on that yesterday, and the reason why I used to is because the donations people sent me were actually sent back. My post office is that bad. And that was, before it got really bad last year. That was a few years ago. I gave up. Or I'd get other people's mail constantly in my post office box. Mind you, there's 3,000 people in this town. There's not even that many boxes. It's a small one. But that's just the way it is here. It pretty much describes most of Alabama, if you ask me. I've lived here almost 10 years, and I've never seen such... I'm just going to leave it at that. So I don't offend anybody. I can't even go there because I would be ranting for hours about the things here. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that if anybody feels generous and would like to support my channel. I do a lot of research for this channel, and even when I'm feeling like death, I'll force myself to do a video just to share information. And I don't get supported by any sponsors or anything. If you are still with me at this time, I'm hoping it will get to that one day. But a few years ago, YouTube would take 50 of my subs at a time. This happened on a regular basis. And I mean, I heard it was happening to other people too. And they just disappear, and then people wouldn't find me again, the ones that didn't have notifications. And that's why my numbers aren't higher. That's one reason. So I'm going to cut this off now because I went on so long. I wanted to give you the facts on this because some of my subs said, oh, we're going to be just fine, blah, blah, blah. They have not done their research and homework of history. If you know your history, okay, the real history, not the bullshit they teach us in school. If you really dig and know your history, you'll figure out, okay, what's really happening. But these people are blindsided by the lies, propaganda, and ignorance. Once you strike down those 3 things, you start to see the truth. But it does take effort. It takes a lot of effort. Personal effort. This is Nellie's Farm signing off. Thanks for watching.